man. I think I have it focused.
Dumbass!
Hey guys, Grading Pixels, Shane, Nick. We're talking about Microsoft's E3 press conference 2018. We just finished watching it.
Yeah, like a few hours ago. Well, I guess like 1 or 2 hours ago, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, but...
It's today.
Yeah.
So we have all the announcements written down here, and we're just gonna kind of go down, talk about the stuff we want to talk about, gloss over the stuff that we don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I guess we'll just hop right into it. At the start of the show, they opened it up with Halo Infinite, some sort of like tech demo-y kind of thing for new engine.
So, was this like a trailer for the engine, or is Halo Infinite Halo 6? That's what I was confused about. I don't know if it's just a new game, and they just didn't want to call it Halo 6.
I don't know. I feel like I don't think it's a trailer for the new engine. I think it is a new game. I don't... The naming convention is weird, because it's not Halo 6.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. The engine looked nice, though.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like right near the end there, because you could tell everything was in engine, especially at the end when you saw Chief's helmet and everything. So yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it's Halo 6, because I don't know why Chief would be in it otherwise.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess it looked cool. I would have liked to have seen gameplay, or a bit more of a hint as to what the story is, but I guess it was cool. It was a good thing to open the press conference with.
Yeah.
It was hype.
It was definitely exciting. So then they moved into Ori and the Will of the Wisps. We've seen it announced last year. Still looks good. It looks like a sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest.
I mean,
so.
I haven't played it, and you haven't played it either, right?
Nope.
So, I don't have like much of a frame of reference when it comes to Ori. I just know that the art style is really, really pretty, and the sequel seems to be following that trend. So yeah, I mean, I think it looks really cool. I obviously don't have an Xbox One, but if I did, maybe I would pick them up if they were on sale or something.
Definitely
So,
cool.
yeah.
So, the first big announcement for both of us, it was if you watched our top wish list video for E3, we both had Shadows Die Twice in our
From Software's new game.
Our number 2 spot, and that turned out to be Sekiro. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I could be wrong. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. So, I thought it looked awesome.
Yes.
It's definitely a different take, or like a different style than we're used to. You still see the From Software blood in it, and it looks kind of like a Souls game, but it looks way more like hyper than what we're used to. Souls is really kind of like slow. I think, and even in like a Bloodborne, which is faster than Souls, it's still like a little slow. This had like jumping and like quick movements.
It had like a grappling hook type thing too, or like a hook shot, whatever, which was really, really interesting. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely tell it was From Software like right off the bat, because I can recognize their engine, especially their hair. It always looks the same. I'm not really saying that in a good way. Their hair looks a little iffy to me, but yeah, I could tell it was From Software. And the point is that the gameplay looked awesome. Having like jumping and like being able to hook shot onto things and all the other stuff we saw in the trailer is a really big deal, because it's something that you think like jumping wouldn't add that much of a dimension to the combat, but it really does. Especially if you can attack while jumping, that's going to add a huge dimension to the combat in the Souls games, which is something they've always needed to improve upon. So I'm really excited to see that.
And they even showed there's like one section of it where there's like I don't know if it's a boss, but there's like an enemy on a horse, and he like grapples up on top of him and starts hitting him and stuff. Like it was the first big thing that was like, wow, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it basically is just like Samurai Souls, which is interesting because obviously Team Ninja made Nioh, which was a Souls-like game, not entirely like Souls, but obviously heavily inspired. And that had a samurai, yokai art style, art direction, and it's the same with Shadows Die Twice. So it'll be interesting to see how the two of those compare. But yeah, I'm really excited. Really, really excited for that. So I don't know if they announced a release date or not. I don't think they did, but hopefully sometime next year.
Yeah, sometime soon. Next, one of the things that I got excited for, Todd Howard came out on stage and showed off an actual trailer for Fallout 76. Kind of surprising that they did that, seeing as Bethesda is coming up in a couple hours. They're obviously going to go more in depth with that, but this trailer was so much more than I was expecting for it. He said the game was 4 times bigger than Fallout 4's map, which I kind of think if they're going to do that, it's probably not as detailed. I'm guessing there's going to be some open, plainsy areas or something. So, but what they showed in the trailer, the locations and all that, it looked good. Like, I was not, I'm not going to say blown away yet because we don't know what the game is still.
Blown away.
I'm not going to say that I'm blown away because we haven't seen the game yet. But that trailer was definitely better than their initial one that they launched with.
Yeah. So I haven't played a Fallout game since 3, but I did think the trailer was really, really good. The whole thing about, you know, everything being 4 times bigger, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. At first it sounds good, you know, bigger is better. Or that's what they say. But, but the problem becomes, in my opinion, like Nick said, where, yeah, it's bigger, but it's a lot less interesting. For me personally, I would rather just have like a really small world with every corner having something interesting to look at, just like Yakuza, for example. Just a very, very small world. But obviously that's not what Fallout is. So I'm excited to see it. I mean, obviously, it has some online component. We don't exactly know what it is yet, because in the trailer they kind of show different vault dwellers, you know,
going
crossing
past the same suit of
armor.
armor.
Yeah, so it's definitely like something online based, but I'm excited to see, and we'll see it in just, it's 7:30 right now. When does it start?
9:30, so 2 hours from now.
2 hours. So we'll have our impressions on that whenever we get to see that.
Yeah. The next one, a spin-off to Life is Strange. I didn't even write the name down because I've never played it. I've never really been interested in those games, so that was kind of like a lesser one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. Like, I'm not really into games like that. I've never played Life is Strange. I thought, you know, I don't know. I mean, I guess the art style looked pretty nice.
Yeah.
I'm not like in love with the art style. It looks pretty nice to me. You know, it looks a lot better than another game on our list, which we'll be getting to later. So, hey.
All right. So the next thing was Crackdown 3. Sort of the same thing.
Should have been Left 4 Dead.
I've never really been into Crackdown, and this one's not doing anything for me either.
Yeah. Yeah, I played Crackdown 2. I don't think I've ever played the first one, but I enjoyed the second one. I know a lot of people hate Crackdown 2, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It's certainly not a great game. I don't think anyone would call it great. In fact, I think the memories people have of the first one, I think is kind of embellished by the fact that it had the Halo 3 beta on it. So that just kind of excited people more than it would have otherwise. Yeah, Crackdown 3, it very much strikes me as a game that Microsoft has wanted to cancel for a long time, but they haven't, just because people would be really pissed off if they canceled another game. So yeah, I mean, the game itself just looks okay. Like, I just don't care about it that much. So at least they're finishing it though. So good for them, I guess.
Next up, Nier Automata. Automata. There you go. Xbox port.
Yeah, I really didn't expect that at all. First of all, because, you know, Japanese games really aren't a big thing on Xbox, especially something like Nier, which is pretty niche, or at least it used to be. I guess now it's kind of a big deal. I think, actually recently, I think Nier sold like 3 million copies, which is a really, really big deal for a series like that. Especially a game made by Yoko Taro, who, he just became like a household name in like the last year. Before that, like, no one knew who the hell he was, despite being in the industry for years and years. So, yeah, I mean, it's cool. The more people who get to play weird games like that, the better. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's awesome.
Alright, so next up was a really good trailer, in my opinion, and that was Metro Exodus. It got announced at last year's press conference with a sort of CG or in-engine kind of trailer. It didn't look real to me. This one did. It was edited very well, and it showed off a lot of different environments and a lot of what kind of Metro is known for, and some of the new gameplay systems. Like, they have new modifications for weapons and everything. It looks like more of what we come to know with Metro, but overall it was just a really impressive trailer. Yeah,
I agree. I only played the first Metro, and I got like halfway through it before stopping, but I really enjoyed it. The only reason I stopped was because it got really, really hard, because I just had to play on hard mode.
As you do.
And yeah, I got stuck like halfway through. I just never felt like continuing it. But I thought the trailer looked amazing. It looked pretty incredible. So I haven't kept up with the series, but it looks amazing. So I wouldn't mind jumping back into it sometime. So, yeah.
So, next up, Kingdom Hearts 3 on Xbox.
Exciting. It was an exciting trailer, I thought. My favorite part was seeing Larxene, who you might not know.
I don't know.
She is my favorite. I don't know if she is my favorite character. She's my favorite member of the organization. That's not a popular opinion because she's a bitch. That's why I like her, because every Kingdom Hearts character is so like, yeah, friendship, da-da-da-da-da. And she's just a downright bitch. And I fucking like it. It's funny. She was only in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Out of like the 9 games in the series, that's the only one she's in. So I'm so happy that she's coming back. That was my favorite part of the trailer. But otherwise, they announced a Frozen world, which is something I think everybody expected. I don't mind. I think it looked really pretty. The only other problem I had with it was Sora's voice. Okay, like I know it might not seem like a big deal to a lot of people. It's just that if you played all the Kingdom Hearts games, you know that Sora's voice has been gradually... it just got weird after a certain point. I don't really know exactly what happened. I don't know if the voice director changed and told Haley Joel Osment to start making himself sound younger, but it sounds really weird. And it's funny because we got a new trailer like a few weeks ago showing off Toy Story World, and he sounded okay there, and in this one he sounded really not good. Like I said, it's just a voice, you know, whatever. The game looks pretty fun. I would have liked to have seen more gameplay, but overall, I'm hyped. I thought it was a good trailer. It was really long too. It was like 3 minutes, I think. So
yeah, I'm more of like a casual Kingdom Hearts fan. I've played Dream Drop Distance and Birth by Sleep.
I own 2 of the worst games.
Yeah, I own the HD remastered collection on PS4, and it's sitting there waiting for me to play. But I will be getting to it eventually. I did like the trailer a lot. They showed a lot of different parts of the game instead of just focusing on one world. So I thought that was cool, and it's interesting that it's coming to Xbox because none of the other games are on Xbox. So
yeah, I mean, I respect them for not canceling the decision. Hopefully, a lot of Xbox players are excited for it because I feel like that's something that could have really, I don't know, they could have really shot themselves in the foot with that. Because like if you're on Xbox, you have no avenues to play any other Kingdom Hearts game. But whatever, it's cool. The more people that can play it, the better. So.
All right. So next, they showed off a quick little clip of Battlefield 5, the war story, focusing on a Norwegian resistance fighter. They didn't show a whole lot. Like half the clips that were in that trailer was in the EA conference yesterday when they were just mentioned that it was going to be here. So I was kind of thinking they'd show more, but not a whole lot to go off of there.
Yeah, I don't even remember it. So.
All right. Next, they went into an extended demo of Forza Horizon 4, which looked pretty cool. Yeah,
and you know, I'm not really one for racing games, so when it first came on, I was kind of like, yeah, come on, can we move on to the exciting stuff? But the trailer was actually really, really good, and I thought the game was really impressive. I guess the seasons, like, they're doing like a 4 seasons thing, which I guess hasn't been done before in the series, but in any case, that's a really big change, and it looks really, really beautiful. It looks like a lot of fun. I saw a lot of drifting in there, which I really like, arcade drifting. So I think the game looks awesome. I don't know if I'd pay like $60 for it, just because I'm not super into racers, but I thought the game looked awesome.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of racing either, but the dynamic seasons was definitely cool. I liked how it changes the levels, so like they had a big example about how there would be like driving like around tracks during the summer and stuff, and then in the winter like a giant lake would freeze over and you could drive on the lake, and there's different events with that. So it definitely looked really cool. I definitely fall more so on the Horizon set of Forza because it seems more arcadey than the like racing sim, like the main games, and like Gran Turismo is like that. So yeah, it was a good trailer. Then after that, possibly the biggest announcement they had was pretty much acquired 5 new studios under their brand. It's a bunch of them were studios that made games for them previously, like the team that did State of Decay, and there was a couple other teams. But they basically acquired them under their main brand of Microsoft Studios.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking while we were watching it, and we won't definitively say, but that almost solves their exclusive problem that they've been having. Because having 5 new teams come under you to make games specifically under Microsoft Studios, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, I think the biggest one personally was Ninja Theory. That's something that I did not expect whatsoever, especially after the success of Hellblade. I thought they would just want to stay, completely multi-platform, but that's cool. I have issues with Ninja Theory, not just because of DMC Devil May Cry, just the way they do gameplay in their previous games. I won't get into it right now, but Hellblade was obviously a big hit. People liked it. I haven't played it, but I want to. But that's great. Microsoft needed studios, so they just shoved a bunch of money out there, and they got them. So I guess that's what they needed to do, because I think it would have taken way too long to just try and... there is like one studio they're hiring a bunch of talent for. It's like a brand new studio, but the other ones, I think, they just bought them. So that's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
As long as they have games, I think the fans will be happy, so...
That was definitely a highlight of the show, for sure. Next off, one of those studios, actually, they're developing the game We Happy Few, and they showed a new trailer.
Yeah.
Looked interesting. It seems to be a little bit different than when they initially announced it a couple years ago, but I definitely like the style, kind of like a Bioshock-y sort of thing.
Yeah.
Not quite, but it looks interesting.
Yeah, I still don't really get what it is, gameplay-wise, but I think the art style and the tone looks very, very interesting, so yeah, I'm happy to hear more.
Next up, they announced, a PUBG update for Xbox. They hinted at a new map if you're into PUBG at the end, but other than that, it's PUBG.
Yeah, I don't care about it, so I didn't pay attention to that part.
Game runs like crap on Xbox, so it didn't really look that realistic, but whatever, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess if people play it, it doesn't matter.
Alright, so next up, the next big game demo, Division 2. Complete with corny, overacted, fake-sounding gamer talk throughout the entire demo. Always love that. I love seeing that, just because it's great for the cringe montages that come out. The game... I felt the same way about the first game. I feel like it looks very bland. This one looks like a sequel to a very bland game.
Yeah, the corny voiceovers was funny. Like, I couldn't believe they did it again. I was expecting Microsoft to have another car, but they didn't.
Oh, yeah, that was a shame. They didn't drop a car from the ceiling.
Yeah, Ubisoft... Well, they dropped leaves from the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention that. They did drop leaves for the Horizon trailer, but, yeah, there was no car, but there was voiceovers for Ubisoft. Yeah, personally, I don't really care about The Division, but I think the gameplay they chose to show was kind of boring, because it's like they just sat under cover for like 5 minutes, like doing basic cover shooting in the same place. So it just was not interesting. I don't think it was a good showcase at all. But
the washed out colors, the simple font, it didn't really pop. Yeah. But I'm sure fans of the first one like that one.
Yeah, I don't know much about The Division, to be honest, so...
Yeah. Alright, so next up, they had a ID at Xbox indie sizzle reel. They just kind of went through a bunch of smaller studio games. A lot of cool stuff in there. They usually have some cool stuff to show off.
Yeah, I guess some of it was new announcements, but they just kind of... It was very, very fast, like every 2 seconds. So I can't really tell you anything that was in that trailer, except for... I think it was a Super Meat Boy game, but I think that's already out. But it was cool, I guess. I just don't really know.
Yeah,
it was too fast.
Their ID at Xbox program's pretty decent from as far as an outsider looking in. It seems like they always have a lot of good indies coming out on Xbox, so that's good. Now for the biggest fake out of the entire press conference.
Yeah.
Sessions. or Session? Is it with an S?
I think it's Session.
Okay, Session, which is you know a little bit about this. I don't know a whole lot about it, so why don't you go into what Session is?
Session is an indie game. I forget who it's made by, but it's basically a more realistic version of the Skate games made by EA. And that leads into the fake out comment that Nick said, but yeah, as far as I've heard, it's basically just like EA Skate, except the way you control the character, it's kind of like one stick controls the left foot, one controls the right, so if you wanted to ollie and you were riding like Goofy or something, you would have to press like the left stick down and then I guess pop the right stick up with the left stick or something. I haven't played it myself, I've just heard that's what it's like, so you can kind of imagine it like that if you know anything about skateboarding. So I guess like a kickflip would be like down on the left stick and then like up to the right. So I'm sure it's something that's fun once you get used to it, but it does sound a bit more complex. But I thought that trailer looked really nice. I mean, it looked good enough to be Skate 4.
Yeah, that's what we were sitting here and we were going, this has to be Skate. It's Skate. Why didn't they do this at EA? It's Skate. Yeah. And then it was Session and we're like, oh, yeah. It's not Skate.
Yeah, I mean, it was still hype, you know, I still thought it was a good trailer, but yeah. I do have to admit, like, when it said Session, it was kind of like, yeah, okay, that's a thing. So, yeah, I'm excited for it, though.
So, now, we need to take a moment of silence here.
DMC is back!
Because the next announcement was Shane's #1 on his predictions list.
By far, my #1.
And that was Devil May Cry 5. And I'll just let him take it away because this is his moment.
I don't, like, I have so much to say about it.
We can always make another video about it, but
yeah,
just say.
I guess the short of it would just be, you know, I'm cautiously optimistic. What I cannot stand is the art style change, which it is Devil May Cry 5, like it is the 5th entry in the series. I'm assuming it takes place after 4, might be after 2, because Dante's riding a motorcycle at the end, but it doesn't really matter. And it has, you know, the same actors playing all the characters, which is great. I thought the dialogue was fine for the most part, except there was some redneck chick, which is, I don't know who she is. I don't really like her that much. She seems kind of cringy, but well, we'll see about her. It was only like a 2.5-minute trailer, so I don't want to like spaz too much about it. Just the initial impression of it, I literally could not believe what I was seeing. When I saw it was Capcom, I said, oh, I don't know what this is, it must be some new IP, and then I saw city, and then I saw police officers and weird bug monsters, so I thought, oh, this is the Resident Evil 2 remake. And then the trailer kept going, and we saw some weird imagery, and I was like, okay, I don't know what the fuck this is. And then we see a van come, and it says, Devil May Cry, right on the side, and then you see who is this guy who looks like, you know, Dante from DMC Devil May Cry, talking, and it's Nero from DMC4. A lot of people are pissed about his haircut. I don't give a shit about the haircut. It's just, his haircut looks fine. It's just the fact that the art style change is like they took DMC Devil May Cry and put it over the original universe, which is something that is completely perplexing to me, especially because, you know, they know at this point that everyone likes the original universe. That's what people want to see. So the fact that they decided to go with this art style shift is absolutely ridiculous and so off-key, so off-point. I do not know what they were thinking. It's something that might grow on me. Like, I'm not trying to be like an asshole and only focus on art. You know, I thought the gameplay looked fine. It's just, the art threw me off so hard I did not know what to say after the trailer was over, to the point where I did not want to talk about it. I've been so excited for DMC 5 for like the last 10 years since DMC 4 came out, and to see that be DMC 5 was really off-putting. I can't remember the last time I was that disappointed about a trailer. And hopefully it looks a bit better in the future as we see more and I get to know more about the story. But it was, I don't know, it was just not what I wanted. It was very disappointing. I was very upset about it. And there's a lot more to say. Like I said, I want to see more gameplay, and I really want to be excited for it because I'm a huge fan of the director, Hideaki Itsuno. I believe in him. I would go on internet forums saying if DMC5 is real, we have nothing to worry about because he is in charge. He is the man, and I love him so much. And he came out on stage, I think it's the first time he's ever been out on stage at E3, and he was all jazzed about his new game, and yeah, I'm coming back, and DMC's coming back too, and it's going to be the greatest game I've ever made. I've been waiting to tell you guys for 4 years, and I wanted to be there with him in the moment, but I just couldn't quite get there. There was some traffic. I couldn't get there. He was ahead of me, but I couldn't get there. I was very sorry, but I want to be there with him. It's awesome that he's excited. I'm sure the gameplay will be great. I want to see more about the story. I just can't get over the art style. I just don't know what they were thinking. I mean, that's all I have to say. I mean, it's just sad. Like, I don't like it. I mean, it'd be one thing if there was still, like, gothic castles and everything, but the art style they showed was, like, some more realistic Resident Evil engine bullshit. It looks fine for Resident Evil when everything's in first person. Mm-hmm. With Devil May Cry, which is more like an anime-type series, it looks dopey. I don't like it. It doesn't help that all the environments were very boring, gray, bland environments. So hopefully in future trailers and gameplay we can see something more interesting. I'm trying not to be a baby dick about the art style and just linger on it, but it's hard for me not to. So yeah, I mean, I just want to wait and see more, but right now I'm just I can't get over it. I just don't even, like, almost want to talk about anything else. I don't even, like, want to talk about DMC5 because I'm so annoyed by it, but I still have to. So. Yeah. And what do you think about it? What do you think?
Again, I've never been super attached to the Devil May Cry series. I thought it looks decent. I do agree that I feel like they took the DMC art style and just kind of put it on there. Mm-hmm. I also agree. I think a lot of the environments and like the lighting just made it look. It was like a very dark trailer, not in like tone, but just like visually. And I don't know, but it's definitely exciting that we're getting a 5th installment and like it's coming back. So
yeah,
and who knows? Maybe if this game gets a lot of backlash like this, maybe down the line if they do another one,
yeah. I mean, see, here's the other problem with it. You know, the game comes out like this, and it's not what people wanted, and then it comes out, and then people are pissed about it, so they won't buy it, and then Capcom sees that, and they say, oh, well, I guess we were wrong. You were wrong for telling us the series was popular. It's like, I just can't believe they would do that. Like, why would they do that? How could you think that was a good idea? Like, listen, I love the Japanese guys, but there's no denying that sometimes they just have strange thoughts and feelings about how the West works, how Western fans' perception of things works. So they must have said, oh, well, a lot of DMC fans are Western, so we'll make it more realistic. And they'll like that. But no, that's not what we wanted. Why did it have to happen to this fucking game? This is all I wanted. I wanted to be so excited, but I can't be excited right now. So I just want to see more gameplay. It's just, I thought it was a joke. I literally thought it was a joke when they brought it out. I thought they were fucking with us and just saying, oh, it's DMC too. You wanted that one, right? Oh wait, no, here's the other trailer in my pocket. But anyway, if we keep talking about it, it's going to go on for hours, so we'll see. I just want to wait and see more. I'll try and give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm still going to play it day one because I'm waiting for DMC5, but a little bit let down. So,
yeah. Alright, so hot off the heels of Devil May Cry 5, there's an announcement for Cuphead DLC, which is great because Cuphead is arguably one of the better exclusives they released on Xbox, like, just the last year.
Yeah.
And it's from a smaller studio, their first game. It is going to have a new playable character, it's going to have a whole new island, a whole set of new bosses, a whole bunch of more content coming next year. So, I'm excited. I 100%ed Cuphead through a lot of hurt and pain and almost breaking my controller. So I'm sure I'm going to have to 100% this one, and
Yep.
I'll have to go through all the hurt and pain again.
Yeah.
But it's worth it for the artistry of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I can't remember much about the trailer because I couldn't see it through the tears from DMC5. And that's gonna go. That pretty much goes for the rest of the games. I don't remember much about what they showed because I was so perplexed by DMC5. But I think I have some things to say about the other games, so we'll keep going. I'll try not to mention it.
Yeah, we had Jump Force, which was some sort of anime crossover game. They showed Goku. They showed Naruto. Yeah, so they showed One Piece guy.
Yeah, they showed Goku, Naruto, Luffy, and they showed Light from Death Note, which he wouldn't know, but I think that's all they showed. They had a Shonen Jump fighting game a few years back, so maybe that's what the sequel... I mean, I don't know who's making it. I don't know anything about it because it was just the CGI trailer.
Yeah.
We'd have to look it up. I'm assuming they have the developer there. It'd be cool if it was Bandai Namco, because they make good games, so... But
it might have been. Cool. They might have had the title at the front.
Yeah, we'd have to check that. Interesting, at the very least. So.
Interesting. I haven't watched a whole lot of anime shows like that, but it's always cool when you get crossover stuff like that. Dying Light 2, they sequel to Dying Light 1, spun out of Dead Island, which I don't think a lot of people liked. It was really buggy and stuff, but apparently Dying Light was a lot better. So now they're doing this. It seems they have a whole new world. Characters like lore, mythos, all that sort of stuff. The parkouring, zombie fighting stuff is back. Still wasn't too excited over it. I'm personally in the zombie fatigue crowd. When they show zombies, I'm just kind of like, I want to see something else.
And that's how most people feel about Days Gone. Unfortunately, very tragic for those developers.
Yeah, it was kind of, it was kind of interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
It was kind of interesting because this was the third or fourth game that they did an extended demo on, and it seems like all the ones they did the demos on were kind of the lackluster titles. Like they did like Forza, which was cool, but it's like racing sim, not really explosive or high octane. Division, bland.
Bad. Dying
Light, Zombie Fatigue. It's like they chose some really weird games to do extended looks at.
I mean, I think Forza was okay because obviously it's an Xbox exclusive, so I think concentrating on that was a good idea, but yeah, they could have picked better ones besides like Forza. So
moving on, they announced a reboot of Battletoads, I suppose.
Oh yeah, so that was interesting. I did not expect that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. They didn't show gameplay or anything, but it'll be interesting to see if they go like a sort of Mega Man 10 route where it's like actual 8-bit graphics again, or 16-bit, whatever the original Battletoads was on, or if they're going to have like a more updated art style, like the new Mega Man game that just got announced recently.
Yeah. I think it's going to be updated, because nothing in the reveal really implied it was classic, because everything was like hand-drawn or some shit, so yeah, I don't think it's going to be classic, but it should be cool. Hopefully. That's awesome. I wasn't expecting it, so...
Yeah, same. It was a pretty cool surprise. Just Cause 4. Kind of pushed under the rug. Seems kind of boring to me. I've never really been on board with Just Cause. The grappling hook seemed cool, but that's not enough to carry you through a bland-looking world.
Yeah. So. And I can't remember anything about the trailer.
Yeah. It was basically Rico... I think he drove some cars, talked to some people, and that was about it. So, cool for fans of that series, though. Next, they had the trifecta of Gears announcements.
Gears War!
They opened up with a pop game, Gears.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That I was like, oh my, I hope that this isn't a console game, if this is what this is.
Gears 5.
Yeah. Turns out it was a mobile game, so I was like, alright, that's fine. Then they announced Gears Tactics, which is a tactical shooter, kind of like an XCOM it looked like from the gameplay that they showed. Not too much to say there, but then they kind of they went for it and wowed the audience and said, hey, we're working on Gears 5. Not Gears of War 5, but Gears
just
5.
Gears 5 this time.
Kind of interesting name
Which
change.
I guess is better than just calling it Gears of War.
Yeah.
With no number.
Yeah.
So.
But there's a tiny bit of gameplay in it, but mainly it was just kind of like a cutscene interaction. I haven't played Gears since 3, but it's one of those Microsoft titles, so
it's cool for the fans.
Yeah, the logo looked really cool too, the blue. But to close out the show, they got CD Projekt Red to show off Cyberpunk 2077, which I feel is like a big game on a lot of people's list that they wanted to see at this E3. Personally, I think it deviated a little bit from the initial tease that they did a year or two ago, whenever they teased that. That teaser kind of had a more Blade Runner-y vibe to me, and this one looked a little bit more grounded in our reality with cyberpunk elements in it, like robot, like upgrading, that sort of thing, but it still definitely looked cool.
Yeah, I think most of it was like a CGI trailer though.
It was, I think, in-engine footage.
Yeah,
so.
But it didn't, I don't know, it didn't really show gameplay or anything. Yeah, it looks cool. I haven't played an RPG like that in a really long time. I'd have to watch it again. I was still thinking about DMC. But,
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, the art direction's interesting. It's very colorful, at the very least.
They're hot off the heels of Witcher 3, and we've been talking about it. It'll be interesting to see if they are a studio that still has their stuff, or if Witcher 3 was kind of like fire in a bottle, and...
just a fluke.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see what ends up happening. But, overall, that was the Microsoft press conference. I think it had a really strong showing. Probably, if we're going to do grades, I'd probably give them like an A-. They definitely, it seemed like they took a lot of pointers from Sony, their press conferences, where it was just about the games. Like, show us game. It definitely felt like that. And so I think they did a really good job this year.
Yeah, I think they did too. I'd probably give them like a B. B+. I feel like A- is too high right now. Just because we haven't seen Sony's or Nintendo's, so theirs might end up being like way better. Who knows? But yeah, overall I was very impressed with Microsoft. That's pretty much everything I wanted to see from them. It seems like they're really committed to, you know, maintaining the Xbox brand. They're not just giving up on it or anything. Obviously I still have some sour salt in my mouth from DMC5 that kind of ruined the whole thing for me. But here's the lineup, take that out, smush everything else together, put it up, it looks really good. So congratulations to Phil Spencer and the whole Xbox team.
Yeah.
It was very good.
Very good show. So that's it for our reactions to Microsoft's press conference. We're going to be doing Bethesda, we're going to be doing Sony, and we're also going to be doing Nintendo. So, yeah. Put down in the comments, I guess, what your favorite announcements for Xbox were, what you think they should have done better, or what you want in the future. And we'll see you for the next video.
Really soon. That looks awesome. So, I don't know if they announced a release date, but...